Welcome to the Seismic Sisters Show. This week we thought we'd take some time off from the bad news of 2020 to focus on some good news for feminists. We had some big wins this week. First off, the Bay Area's own Kamala Harris was selected to be the vice presidential running mate to Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket. This really shifted the momentum of the campaign, and it feels like the tide has turned for women in politics, especially for women of color, who are running in record numbers all across the country for office. Second up, Reid took over the hardball slot on MSNBC News. The news show was formerly hosted by Chris Matthews. Joy renamed it The Reid Out. It is now the top place to go for politicians, thinkers, and activists to talk about the news of the day. Reid was joined by Rachel Maddow, Nicole Wallace, and Brian Williams to cover the Democratic National Convention all week. The way the media covers female candidates is so consequential, and sexist coverage can really turn off voters to a candidate. So kudos to Joy. And third, we had an exciting development. The 19th News, a woman-led newsroom, launched this week. Both the name and the timing of the launch commemorate the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, which gave women the right to vote. However, the story is more complicated than that. It actually gave white women the right to vote. Black women, Native American, and other women of color did not secure the right to vote enshrined in law until decades later. For a fuller understanding of this history of women's suffrage and the racism that permeated it, I suggest two new reports. One, The Vote, a two-part series on PBS, as well as CNN's special report, Women Represented, hosted by Aaron Burnett. The 19th News also has many links and good resources to learn more about this history of women's suffrage. We have much more coming up for you on the Seismic Sisters Show, a political report from Kimberly Ellis, news about the Say Her Name campaign, the second in our three-part series, as well as information about activists and aspiring artists like ASHA, revolutionary poet, artist, and activist. So enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, this is Kimberly Ellis with the Political Report for Seismic Sisters. Well, after weeks and weeks of speculation, we finally have a VP nominee, and it is none other than California's own Senator Kamala Harris, making history as the first Black woman nominee for Vice President of the United States of America. Kamala is smart, she's tough, and she's fierce. And quite honestly, she's the VP pick that the Trump administration feared the most. If this were a fall movie premiere, we've got the perfect title, Wonder Woman and Friends. P.S. Can we fast forward to the end? Play ball? Yes, no, maybe so? As the coronavirus continues to wreak havoc on every aspect of American life, in what can only be described as a perfect summation to the summer of COVID, college football has now been infected. And whereas the Big Ten and Pac-12 leagues have decided to postpone their college football seasons, the ACC and SEC leagues did not, setting up one of the most interesting NCAA battles this college football-loving country has ever seen. It's going to take a real Hail Mary to salvage this situation, folks. And kids across America return to school by the millions. But with campus outbreaks and viral videos showing packed hallways full of unmasked students, the reopening process hasn't gone as smoothly as was hoped. The last 2 weeks of July and the beginning of August alone saw a 90% increase in child cases, with 180,000 new child cases reported nationwide. So much for the kids being immune, eh? Wait a minute, Mr. Postman. With current stimulus talks stalling out in Congress and no deal in sight, not only are Americans seeing a huge reduction in their unemployment benefits, but our U.S. Postal Service is also in danger of being severely underfunded, which could have huge negative consequences for the 20-plus states that have instituted mail-in ballot programs for the November election. Well, that's it for this edition. Please check out our website for the latest news, updates, and articles. And until next time, be safe, wear your mask, and stay healthy.
In Jean-Luc's own words, vote is precious. It's almost sacred. It is the most powerful nonviolent tool that we have in democracy. So make sure to visit vote.org to find out if you're registered to vote. And don't forget, voting is one of the most powerful tools that you have to shape your personal future. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Hi, my name is Polina Smith, and this week on Art and Power, we are featuring the incredible poet ASHA. ASHA is an educator, an artist, and a revolutionary. Her work has been featured on Content Magazine, KQED Arts, and she has performed all over the Bay Area, including at the Seismic Sisters event last year called The World We're Dreaming.
But for some stupid reason, because I'm a woman, my struggle is harder. My independence creates intimidation mixed with gender non-conforming roles eased off of heteronormative regulation. I make some people uncomfortable with the real me, but that's cool, I like that. I'm over your judgment. Justice of finding my voice harbored the anger of 31 years of silence, of self-hate, of faking confidence that had every right to be there in the first place. The first takes of being myself never made the final cut. Highlighted on my blooper reel time after time trying to be someone I wasn't after one time I decided I was over it and needed to keep it 100. Hunting down lies to...
And not only is ASHA an amazing poet, but she's also been teaching inside the public school system for over 10 years. Her work is poignant and powerful, and I highly recommend checking it out at ashapoet.com, ASHApoet.com.
Hello, my name is Nyteia Tyler with Seismic Sisters, and this is part 2 of our 3-part series on the hashtag Say Her Name campaign. While the original hashtag was to acknowledge the police violence against Black women, it has been overshadowed by the loss of life in general. Many people use the hashtag spreading the awareness for the murders of women, and while this is not completely wrong, it does negate the original purpose of the movement and its meaning. Black women are continuously being killed by police, but we rarely hear their names in the media. There was a report that was released along with the campaign in July 2015 with a detailed history and statistics by Kimberly Crenshaw and Andrea Ritchie. The document not only laid out the goals and objectives of the movement, but also how invisible Black women are in society when it comes to police violence. They said that the Say Her Name campaign sheds light on Black women's experiences of police violence to support a gender-inclusive approach to racial justice that centers all Black lives equally. While the media can be blamed, we must also hold ourselves accountable to how often we overlook Black women and the fact that they are a part of this narrative as well. To continue to build the movement and stop injustice, all Black people, including women, should be included in this discussion. We will now take a moment to recognize 5 more women who have unfortunately been victims to police violence, but also remembering that they are women and human beings as well. Geraldine Townsend, Kayla Moore, Latasha Nicole Walton, LaShonda Anderson, Charlena Lyles. Thank you for taking that moment with us, and we hope that you are continuing to reflect on the movement and Black women whose lives were cut too short. We hope that you are also continuing to educate yourselves and spread awareness on police violence against Black women, and stay tuned for our 3rd and final part of the series on the hashtag Say Her Name campaign. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Seismic Sisters Show. Don't forget to follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter on seismicsisters.com, and please tell your friends.